Okay, our next shape that we're finding volume and surface area of are cones. So like traffic cones, ice cream cones. Um, so cones are different than cylinders or prism because they only have one base and it is always a circle. So we're going to go ahead and highlight our circle base, which is, here's the circle down there. That's the base. So you can go ahead and shade that in. And there's only one of them. There's not another one up top. It comes to a point up there. That's why there's only one base. And we know that the radius is still on the base. We know that it goes from the center to the edge. That's the radius. Okay, now in cone, there's two different heights. There's the regular height, like we've been talking about. It's from the middle of the base to the top. So when I say the middle of the base, I'm talking about the center down there. So it goes from there up to the tip up there, and it makes a nice little right angle, and that is height, okay? So it's going through the middle of the cone. Then there's this thing called slant height, which is on the slanted part of the cone. That's why I call it slant height. So that's gonna be like from the circle on the edge up on the side of the cone. That is slant height. Now they abbreviate slant height with an L, and they usually do like a cursive L. That is slant height right there, okay? You use them for different things. So do not get confused between regular height and slant height. So here we go. Let's talk about it. So lateral surface area, our formula is S equals pi RL. So we know pi is just pi, but R is the radius. That's coming from the base. L, that's the slant height. That's what we just learned about. Total surface area, pi RL plus pi R squared. So R is still the radius, L is still the slant height. This part right here is the same as lateral surface area. And then pi R squared, R is just radius. So this is pretty straightforward. You're just plugging in numbers from the cone. You don't have to figure anything out. And then volume is 1/3 big B times H. Now we have talked about big B. We know that's the area of the base. And since our base is always a circle, we're going to use pi R squared for big B. And then H is the regular height of the cone, not the slant height. Again, do not get them confused. And yes, there is a 1/3 in the front. So let's do some examples. So number one, find the lateral surface area. So first of all, I'm reading it. I'm underlining, oh, it wants lateral surface area. I write down the formula, pi RL. Okay. I need to know what's the radius, what's the slant height. So I'm looking over here. My radius is on the circle. I see that it's a 3, so I label that R. My slant height is on the edge of the cone. It's right there, so that's going to be 7. Then I just got to plug it in. So pi is just pi. My R was 3. My L was 7. And then I just type in Desmos. And we're typing it all at once so we don't get something crazy. So here we go. Pi, parentheses, R, parentheses, L. We get 65.97. 65.97. So we're going to have to round to the nearest tenth. So 9/7. Oh, that makes the 9 bigger. Well, 9 is a special number when it gets bigger. That's actually going to roll over and make the next number bigger. So final answer to the nearest tenth is 66. Okay, just because 0.97 makes the whole thing round up. So that was lateral. Pretty easy. Number 2, we're doing total surface area. So I underline total surface area. I write down the formula is pi RL plus pi R squared. I'm looking at my cone. I'm going to label what's my radius. So my radius I know is on the circle. Oh, so it's going to be a 3. That's my radius. And my L is my slanted side. Ooh, I just drew right through it. Slanted side, that's going to be 9. So I just got to plug the numbers in. So pi times radius 3, slant height 9, plus pi times radius squared. And again, we're going to type all that in Desmos. Okay, so we have pi times 3 times 9 plus pi 3 squared. Not up there. Okay, and I got 113.09. 13.09. So does the 9 make it bigger or keep it the same? That's going to make it bigger. So 113.1 is the answer. Okay. Pretty easy. We just type it all in at once so that we don't end up rounding early. You don't round until you get to the end. So here we go. Last one. Finding the volume. So the volume, oh, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm writing the formulas 1/3 big B times H. What are we supposed to use for big B? Oh, well, our base is the circle. We're supposed to use pi r squared. So here we go. What's my radius this time? I'm seeing it's the 7 right there. And my H, my regular height, not slant height, is right here. That's going to be 12. So I just got to plug the stuff in. So the 1/3 is just 1/3. And then I'm doing parentheses because I'm doing big B. And I'm using pi r squared for big B. So pi times, my radius was 7 squared, times my height, which is 12. So I type all of this. Here we go. 1/3 parentheses pi times 7 squared times 12. And I get 615.75. We're noticing this, I type it all in at once because I don't want to round my area before I get to the end. Okay, make sure that's why we type it all in at the same time. So 615.75 rounded to the nearest tenth. That's gonna be 615.8. 75 rounds up to an 8. Okay. Pretty straightforward. You're just plugging numbers into the formula so you can go ahead and start the formative.